We've recently discovered that there are about 35 million people in slavery around the world today. Now, slavery occurs almost any time that someone's made vulnerable and doesn't have the protection of the rule of law. If you want to understand the presence of slavery, you have to understand the presence of corruption in most countries.
We need leaders we can actually believe. Whether they're corporate, governmental, military, have an enormous responsibility. We're talking about people developing a higher level of consciousness than we've had up to now, enabling humanity to actually evolve because we have to.
When we all come together as leaders and people, elders and young, we can make the world the one we want, because no one is free as long as others are not. Let all of us come together to make the 21st century the century of humanity.
All this week on the CNN Freedom Project, we focus on the impoverished workers behind one of the world's most popular drinks, tea. Now, today we take you to one of the leading tea-producing regions, Assam, India, and there we meet a girl who, like many others, was lured into slavery in an attempt to escape poverty. Mohammed Leela reports.
We're driving through one of the world's most beautiful places. A place of winding roads and mountains on the horizon. We're driving through northeast India right now, right along the foothills of the Himalayan mountains. This is the Indian state of Assam. It's one of the major tea-producing areas in this country. If you drank a cup of black tea this week, there's a chance it came from right here, the state of Assam. With hundreds of tea plantations, this region produces more tea than anywhere in the world. As the paved roads give way to broken gravel.
All right, so we're here.
We walk through this village, a place where goats than $2 a day. Legally, the plantation owners are supposed to provide housing, education, subsidized food, and medical care to all their workers. But as we discovered,
All right, so she just said there's no electricity.
often nobody enforces the rules, leaving thousands of people living in extreme poverty.
So come take a look at this. This is she says this is where they actually do a lot of the cooking, and this is their stove. They use firewood to cook their meals.
It's conditions like these that make tea workers ripe for trafficking. Police in India tell CNN there are hundreds of cases like Manju's every year. Girls from tea plantations lured with promises of earning money, but forced into hard labor and sex in India's big cities.
Whereby?
When the CNN Freedom Project went to India's minister in charge of the tea industry, she told us she wanted to discuss it with other elected officials.
If it is so restricted, trafficking restricted only to the tea garden area, if there's anything that I need to rush in to do it, I will do it. But I have elected members of parliament who have not drawn my attention to this.
State and officials from the tea industry wouldn't comment to us about the trafficking. Back in her village, Manju says she'll continue to speak out.
People around the world watch CNN's Freedom Project. For all of the people that are watching right now, what's your message to them?
मैं रिक्वेस्ट करती हूँ कि किसी के साथ ऐसे ना हो, लड़कियों को बेचना, ले जाना, झूठ बोल के गरीबों की बहुत फ़ायदे उठाते हैं वो लोग, ये सब बंद हो जाना चाहिए.
But this isn't where Manju's story ends. After the interview, she shows us this photo of her sister, telling us she was also lured by traffickers and is still trapped. And in a few days, she's hoping to be part of a daring police raid to rescue her. For the CNN Freedom Project, Mohammed Leela, in the state of Assam, northeastern India.
Now, CNN's Freedom Project brings to light the criminals that trade in human life. It also celebrates the success of survivors who have broken the chain of slavery. You can find more stories on our website, as well as a list of charities that help the victims of human trafficking. It's all at cnn.com/freedom project. You're watching Newsstream. Up next.